So, Adam.
Yes.
Did you know that it took John Cena 12 years to get 16 world title reigns? A total of 1,409 days total reigns.
That's pretty impressive, man. That is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's a very good stretch out to get 16 titles.
Exactly.
Did you know that Charlotte's had 12 and 6?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. It's gonna be this is all gonna play into the conversation on Charlotte in the Conversation podcast.
Wait, why did you bring it up in the first place for this podcast then?
Hey, I didn't have a better cold opener for this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's time for some As the Buckle Turns news podcast. I'm Adam.
I'm Tim.
And this week we got, of course, it's the news. Only the news is in this show.
I thought that was obvious with, the news podcast.
The As the Buckle Turns news podcast. I gotta keep putting it out there because technically this is the first week where we're having a news show and a conversation show.
True on that part, but technically we had just a news episode last week because the image on the screen literally said, As the Buckle News. Wrestling news.
We need like a better logo.
I just threw that thing together. Shut up.
Don't worry. I threw it together before you threw it together.
No, I'm talking about the logo part. I actually put a logo for wrestling news.
Yeah.
I put text, wrestling.
Oh, yeah, no. We got to rework even the background, As the Buckle Turns. That was literally years ago that I put that together.
And it's changed because we've just grabbed different things and merged them in.
Yeah.
It works for what we were doing, but yeah. Anyway,
okay.
So if you don't know, what we're going to be doing is we're just going to testing the waters going forward for a little bit to see how it is. We're going to be doing multiple programs going forward. We have the news podcast. We're going to have a conversation podcast each week. And then on the weeks that we have predictions, that will be a separate show.
Completely separate show. That way we see what your guys are tuning into.
Yep. Also, what we'll see, what we'll do is during the those prediction shows, the results will be a separate show as well.
Yes.
And I swear to God, someday we will get to Wrestle Kingdom 15 when we actually watch Night 2.
So next week, I've heard that there's some predictions. Maybe we can, I don't know, maybe put the results in there?
It's a WWE, pay-per-view, so you know what that means.
It'll be a 5-minute show.
Yeah.
So we need to buff that up a little bit.
Well, thanks for ruining my joke. I was gonna say, it's gonna be a 5-hour show because it takes me. Oh, that's NXT. My bad.
Yeah.
And AEW.
We've seen that.
It's not WWE. WWE. Yeah, this is predictable. But it is the Royal Rumble, so that could be take a little bit longer.
Especially with me getting a little weird and being I want to see Hacksaw Jim Duggan come out again.
Wait, my bad. It's a WWE Royal. Charlotte's going to win again this year, so we only have one Royal Rumble to really predict.
Yeah.
Because we all know, based on this past Raw, it's going to be Alexa Bliss defeat Asuka, so Charlotte can defeat Lady Fiend at WrestleMania and be the big hero.
I'm sorry. What's the name?
Alexa Bliss beat Asuka in a goofy, it ruined Asuka.
Okay.
Because she was being all afraid, trying to be friendly, because you had friendly Bliss in the ring. During a commercial break, it went black when they came back. Bliss was in all black, like a fiend. She looked really good in the black.
All right.
A little comparison, but beat up Asuka, beat her, and then black back to the girly Alexa Bliss. And then just pairing. So basically the idea is, we want Alexa Bliss to be the villain, even though she's been teaming as a babyface. So look, they can have...
once again, 50-50 booking ruined all storylines.
But the idea is they want to push Charlotte, so Charlotte's going to have a big fiend because she's the babyface. Make up your fucking mind, WWE.
I know.
You're saying the Fiend's a babyface and Alexa's a babyface, but now you're gonna set it up as she's not the Make up your fucking mind. just a way to put Charlotte over again.
Of course.
And to diminish Asuka because she's
for
an afterthought.
some strange reason.
Yeah.
They want to bury Asuka in the slowest way possible.
Every way possible.
It's every way possible, but it's not a swift burial.
No. But we'll go over this a little bit more in the conversation podcast.
Yeah.
But we have some news items. We're trying to keep these news podcasts, at least 45 minutes. We actually did a good job last week.
Yes, we did.
So we got to see if we can keep that up this week.
Okay.
So, Adam, we got to start off this show, as always, bashing WWE. No, wait. No.
Whoa.
No. Ratings.
Okay. Wednesday Night Wars are raging still. And this week, things jumped back up. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad to see that. AEW again came out on top by nearly 200,000.
Yeah.
So AEW came out on top this week with 854,000, and NXT rolled in at 659,000. Both shows are up from last week.
Which is actually a surprise because the inauguration was yesterday.
Yes.
So, but because that was mostly during the day, you kind of have like the fireworks of the night. So
right.
It's just going to be news of what was going on throughout the day. And big stuff, as we've been told, has happened.
Luckily, wait, what?
Well, just all the stuff that Joe Biden has signed.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm just talking about. That we're coming out, so that it wasn't as a big a news.
There wasn't a lot of fanfare.
There wasn't any arrests or anything that happened yesterday.
Look, man, we were gonna be nice to the less fortunate. In 2021.
I know what you're talking about. I never agreed to that.
Okay.
My napkin clearly states I do not have to follow your guidance on that.
All right. I was trying to be nicer to people this year.
Why?
I don't know.
Anyway, so we're basically the point, nothing breaking.
No. There was no January 6th. Okay.
Yeah, happened. So where the ratings were going to be down for both shows, which is good. It's always great to see wrestling. Having a huge following on a Wednesday night.
Exactly.
So, but it wasn't a surprise that AEW won. But here's the big thing.
Yeah.
Coming out of last week that Darby Allin's a draw.
I could have told you that a while ago.
If you're an AEW fan, you knew that, but
I absolutely love Darby Allin. He's the kid that won't quit. He is my spirit animal. Like, that's the type of character that I wanted when I wanted to get into the ring. I was like, no, I want the character that at the end of the match, kind of the Jeff Hardy, where he just stands up and he's like, that's cool. I'm not done yet. They may have given you a 3 count, but I can do this all day. Let's keep going.
So the whole idea is because he was in the main event with Brian Cage.
Yep.
That was the main event. It did very well in the ratings, proving, once again, Darby's a draw.
Yes.
Also proving...
Swolverine is a draw, too.
Yeah, I was about to say, Brian Cage is a draw. I think Darby, in a sense, is a little bit more of the draw here because, he's been known more to AEW fans. But Brian Cage was a big thing in Impact Wrestling, and he's going to be a big star in AEW.
Oh, yeah.
I do think he's lost a little bit of his flair since he came in.
Yeah.
But when you have such a huge roster as AEW has in such a short time, and you're only in your second year of TV, still trying to keep everyone at their hype that when they came, it's not possible to do at this point. But the fact that he still is relevant,
yes,
though they do a terrible job of making that fuck the world championship heavyweight title mean anything. Just get rid of it. You're not doing anything with it. Just stop having it on TV. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I mean, I kind of, you know what? I would love for that to be a belt that is defended. Brian Cage Taz should just be like, dude, you don't need this belt anymore. But like, if he picks up the TNT belt, he doesn't need the FTW belt. But somebody like the next guy in Team Taz gets it. You know, you're like, hey, you're our top guy that doesn't currently have, an gold. AEW gold. Here's the FTW belt. Go over to Raw. Go over to Dark Raw. and you're going to defend it.
Yeah.
And you're just going to keep defending it until they give you a chance at the next bigger belt.
Just get rid of it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Especially with the hype up of the, obviously the trio championships are going to be coming at some point, because, goddamn, there's a lot of trios championships, trios groups in AEW. I was hoping maybe we'd get it for a Revolution, but I don't think we're going to. I think we're gonna get it. I think they're gonna hold out to Double or Nothing again.
I like it. I like that. I like the Double or Nothing kind of being the place where things are introduced or new things happen.
Yeah, I mean, again, I would rather see them introduce the women's tag division belts first, but
not right now, bro.
Here's what
they need to strengthen that women's division before they introduce more belts.
True, but we're talking about Double or Nothing though, so there's plenty of time to do that. They have the talent. Now
they
here's
are
the thing.
working with a company right now that already has a women's tag division.
I know.
So,
but my thing is that you have plenty of time between now and then to set that up.
Yep.
And that would be the better thing to do. And they have been giving more storylines within AEW to women. It's just you gotta find it's balancing act. And trust me, I know about balancing act. I just did my whole lineup for Full Gear for fantasy booking. And
is that show coming back?
It will be coming back in the next few weeks. I can't tell you exact time because
sometime before July. Okay.
So
why do you do this to me, man?
Exactly one day before July it drops.
June 30th.
June 30th, 11:59 and 59 seconds.
Yeah, no, I still consider that's July 1.
Nope, that is technically June.
Screw you, man.
Anyway, but trying to find all the storylines and booking into 1 2-hour show. Yeah, it's not easy.
No.
And I have women's tag division belts.
I've basically had to start doing a formula for certain storylines regarding it's just the championship storylines for NUA.
Yeah.
And I now have to go from, so I've written all the way up to the next pay-per-view, from Blood Feud 5 all the way up to, you know what? Spoilers, ladies and gentlemen. It's called Meltdown.
Yeah.
That's going to be happening in, I think, technically March.
Yeah.
It's early March, end of February.
But yeah, just balancing those the titles
God.
and people who it's hard.
And I don't even have promos.
No, yeah. See,
it's just matches.
I had to use a pad of paper. But anyway, we're getting off topic.
Yes.
So, but who knows when the trio belts will actually come in? I do like the idea that they're not calling them trios. I like them calling like the triple tag.
Yeah.
Or something. Not trios, not 6-man. Something different. And I don't want them to be called World.
No,
because here's my problem with
the multiverse.
No, my idea of having everything being a world. Yes, it's a separate division in a sense, but you should use the 6-man tag belts as technically a secondary tag belts to the world.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
So if you call them
so they
world,
just be the AEW 6-man tag championships
or the 6-man AEW trios championships.
Yeah.
But not the World Trio Championships, because this way you can use it for younger talent,
right?
And to build people up. Yes, you don't want to have like the people like Pentagon and Rey Fenix hold them,
of course.
But having
the Young Bucks and Kenny,
yeah, the whole thing though is building to the normal tag team instead of having it just be another world, because it's just, to me, you don't have secondary divisions. Why is everything a world and is everyone's a world champion? That's why when WWE called the World Television Championship, he was technically a world champion. No, he was the television championship.
Just the television champion.
No one remembers the WCW's television championship as the World Television Championship.
No.
Everyone remembers it as the television championship. So that's my case. But anyway, let's move on. Darby Allin is a draw, and it's going to be interesting to see where everything goes overall. But yeah. Let's move on. What's the next topic?
All right. We got to talk about it because it's coming up. The Dusty Rhodes Classics for both the women and the men's.
Yes. I think we did talk about briefly that they were going to do a women's.
Yes, we
just
have.
Briefly. I mentioned there was only 4 teams announced at that time.
Honestly, you do most of the talking.
Yes.
And I either interject or suddenly I go off on something weird.
Yes.
But I know nothing about the women's division in NXT.
You know why you go off on something that's weird?
Why?
Because your face.
Wow, bro. Wow.
But yeah, so
Wow.
we do have the Dusty Classic. It's going on right now. I just know the only thing I basically know who's advanced for a fact is the way Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory did not advance. They lost their opening match to Kushida and I can't remember the guy. The guy who held the North American Championship from Johnny. I can't think of his name.
I do like the fact that Kushida came over because much like Shinsuke, both of them are looking at it as kind of the retirement home.
Yeah.
They're like, no, it's a lighter schedule. It's a way lighter workload.
Especially in NXT.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I'm just like, I'm looking at him going, guys, you do realize that technically you should be doing a ton more shows constantly. And they're like, oh yeah, no, we're used to that. But the in-ring is way lighter than we're used to. And I'm like, look over at New Japan. I'm like, yeah, no, you way lighter.
Yeah.
You're so much safer on your neck here.
So I don't remember who else is advanced. There's a few other people. But we did have the first match in the women's.
Okay.
Where we had Team Ninja of Casey Catanzaro. And I cannot think of her tag team partner, honestly.
I don't have the information in front of me.
Beat Martina Mendez and Tony Storm in their match. Which when I saw the pairing and I saw that these two were going to be getting, my first indication was, well, that's obviously it's Tony Storm. And I paused for a second, like, no. Martina Mendez returned by attacking Io Shirai. Team Ninja is going to win this one because Io Shirai is going to get involved. What happened?
Io Shirai gets involved.
And the Team Ninja, which is great because I love Casey Catanzaro.
Yeah.
Love her. They need to do more with her.
Okay.
So I'm glad about this part. But there was some new signings.
Oh, yes?
Yes. Apparently NXT doesn't have enough women for their tag team tournament.
I could have told you that, bro.
No, they do. They just, for some reason, decide not to put half their women in it, apparently.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. But they did sign some new people. I don't know 2 of the 3 who signed. They got their names changes and everything. I do know of one person who was signed.
And who was that?
This is Priscilla Kelly. She's on.
Why does that name sound familiar?
She's well known. She was the one that did the whole tampon from the thing.
Yes.
That got a bad reaction.
Sorry. Still to this, like anything that level, even through with guys and stuff, I'm still like, that is like, good example is,
Mick Foley's sock.
Well, Mick Foley's sock, but, Abdullah the Butcher. How much he would cut himself as well. And I'm like, see,
the thing
I'm not a big fan of blood. That's what I'm saying.
See, the thing with at least for like Foley, I didn't have an issue with it because it was just a sock in his pants. If she pulled something out of her shorts, just that and that's all, and she did it, fine.
I'm gonna be honest. Joey Ryan's lollipop.
Yeah. See, I'm okay with that. It's disgusting, but at the same time, it's just something in the shorts.
Yeah.
But when you add clearly there's something else from there that may be excreted from that part of the body, I draw the line.
Oh, for me, it's just blood in general. I'm like,
but it was just we even gave her credit though at that time for trying something different.
Oh yeah, it's meant to shock.
It backfired. But I give her credit for trying. But she's well known around the indies and all that. She was the first Shine Nova champion in the All Women's Shine. Which is their secondary title. She's mostly known. I don't say mostly known for, but average fans may know her because she was Darby Allin's wife.
Thank you.
They are. I don't know if it's officially. They have officially divorced, but they are getting divorced.
Yeah. Yes.
Nothing because like
We read that story a couple of months ago.
Yeah. It's just
Time's been moving weird, man.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
It's one of those things where it's just like apparently they just it's nothing like they don't hate each other. Or,
No.
it's
They just knew that it wasn't working out.
It just wasn't working out anymore, so they're gonna bring it to an end. But she has been signed she got a new name. Don't know the name. It's like Gianna GD.
Oh God.
Hold on.
I know the article that you shared to me was
I pulled it up.
had Priscilla Kelly still on there.
Gigi,
Gigi.
Gigi. Wow. Gigi Dolan is her new name.
Gigi Dolan. Really?
Why? Priscilla Kelly is already a WWE. Oh wait, they want to own
because she owns that name.
Yeah,
they want to own the name,
and it's not a big enough name on the indie scene to allow her to use it.
I mean,
actually, I think she does.
Yeah.
Personally,
I would love for the audience to just start chanting Priscilla.
Yeah. It's Caden Carter was Casey's partner. But anyway, everyone knows
her name was Caden Carter.
But everyone knows Priscilla Kelly because she was in both Mae Young Classics as Priscilla Kelly.
I know.
So, but my thing is, the other person they signed is Elena Black. She's now going as Cora J. I like that name. Okay. Both names. Yeah. And ironically, Elena Black is part of AEW in my fantasy booking, by the way.
Oh.
And then you have Lacey Ryan.
Okay.
Who's now going as Zoe Stark. Don't know who that is.
It's Howard Stark's niece.
Sure.
Great niece.
So, but yeah, it's just I'm wondering if these signings are actual legit signings because they came out of nowhere,
or if they're a very short-term contract to get through this and to fill up spots.
They're just cannon fodder.
I won't be honest. Probably is well, except for the name changes because
that's the.
If they were only signed to be just part of this for right now, they would have definitely kept their names.
Possibly. But usually when WWE signs new talent, they announce the signing. You don't get your name right away. Because when you come in, you may start within a few... once you start in the Performance Center, you could be on TV within a week or two. Now that they go live, it could be that next show. It's generally not. It's usually about 2 weeks before a big name from the indies who they want to put...
Yeah, did we know... what Karrion's name was going to be, or sorry, Karrion Kross's name was going to be until he debuted?
I think when they announced it is soon after, or they announced it part of it, because we already knew when he came in, there was rumors was like they wanted him, they were going to push him to go right to the main roster.
Yes.
As potential was one.
But we were like but they had already said they were not going with the name Killer Kross.
Yeah, I think so. I think they kind of figured out.
I understand, Killer, not exactly something they can put on merch.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't know. But he was like the last big one. But yeah, he got his name pretty quickly because they were going to put him right on TV very quickly. Start hinting at him.
Well, I mean, if they're in the women's Dusty Rhodes Classic, they're already going right on TV.
Which makes me wonder, are they actually going to be there long term? Or
I don't know.
But they're both. I know Elena Black and Priscilla Kelly. They're young. Priscilla's only 22.
Oh wow.
That's young. She's still very young, so she could be. It's just the timing and everything just seems like why.
Yeah.
So I hope not because I don't think Priscilla will be used very well. I think she'll be there 5 years and she'll be maybe just getting her break.
Yeah.
And it's just be like, or not, and we're gonna have another Deonna Purrazzo.
Yes.
Or Rachel Ellering, who never got on NXT TV and who was signed.
Or Tay Conti.
Tay Conti, who did, and she's going to go somewhere else.
Really? Oddly enough, a number of AEW's women's division are all people who were like, so I was signed with the Performance Center, and then they just cut me.
Yeah, because they saw something in them. But the thing is, they brought them over and used them before signing them.
Yeah. Saw
something in them.
Decided to put them try to put them in through the system, through their system,
well,
and then that doesn't really fit. All right, toss them.
or they saw something and they signed them, like Tay Conti. But it's just one of those things where it's just like, I think they brought Tay Conti in like knowing they were gonna sign her, but they're gonna have her go through the process.
Yeah.
Just saying, just in case we find out that maybe we don't want her, for some reason, we don't. She's not already signed in. But they signed her so quickly as like I had to know. Like they like, no, we see something in her. We're gonna sign her.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know. Time will tell. But let's move on.
All right. So,
How are we doing on time?
we got about 20 minutes
Okay, we got some time.
on the recording. So, you know what? We got to talk about someone making some comments here.
Do we get to rant?
No, yes, maybe.
Okay. The possibility of a rant, I'm okay with. Let's do it.
So, somebody just decided to, consequences be damned, make their opinion be known. Mark Calloway.
Mark Calloway.
Mean Mark Calloway. You might know him as, the American Badass Undertaker.
That's not the Undertaker. The Undertaker's his name.
All right. The Undertaker's the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Mark Calloway is just some other dude.
Yeah, Mark Calloway. I don't know.
He's a biker.
Yes, Mark Calloway had some consequences be damn moment.
So really, I don't care about the rest of it. He didn't really put his foot in his mouth during the rest of the interview. It was just this comment that WWE has gotten soft.
Yes.
And I'm willing to bet that he's not he's talking about the product.
He's actually, I remember it just popped in my head part of the thing he was talking about. Yes, he's talking about the product, but he's also talking about how the newbies, like with him, Rock, Triple H, all just like kind of like Triple H was there for a while, but like all just kind of not being there, and these rookies learning from rookies. So being just not learning, like having some experience to teach them in the ring and everything. So like he stuck around for a while, but like Austin left because of his neck.
Yep.
Rock had done everything, and he had
Hollywood.
He decided to go off to Hollywood. He's not blaming these guys.
No.
He's just saying, but because and he is, but he's putting it in a way even on him.
He's like, I retired.
There's not enough people of that caliber to work with these rookies. So when new rookies came in, they're still learning from rookies, and it just became what it is, on top of it being the product soft. And I think Eric Bischoff puts WWE's product description so much better. Sterile.
I like it. It works. But somebody else had some comments.
Yes.
Bully Ray said that...
No. Booker T had comments. Well, that's on Bully
Ray. Booker T's comments about Bully Ray's comments about AEW having some issues up and down their card. Glaring issues.
How dare Bully Ray talk negatively about Tony Khan who pays our bills? I mean, bills, because you don't give me my cut of the paycheck.
What are you talking? Anyway, moving on. No, but yeah, Bully Ray just he was complaining about the fact that the level of talent, if you will, of in-ring action talent, is so varied in the company, that it's not good. It's not good. You need to make it. He need to make it more like NXT. Yeah, NXT, the one that the guys actually get to practice every week. Well, AEW does it a lot more like, the old days when it was called on the fly.
I don't think they
still have it.
Some of AEW stuff, like the topper stars, will probably call it.
They get to call some stuff
in the ring. They still put the matches together, I'm sure, with their whatever they call producers. I can't remember what the coaches or whatever.
Coaches.
I can't remember the term that they're using for it.
I think it is coaches.
Yeah, I think so too. Excuse me.
But it's basically the match producers.
Yeah, they put them together. The younger talent, they're putting them together, and they may have some kind of rehearsal.
Well, I mean, no. What
but
they have is what Mark Calloway is complaining about in WWE. They have a bunch of old school. Not old school, but they have a bunch of veterans who are teaching the younger guys, and they even have veterans on a scale too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, Kenny Omega is a veteran.
Yeah.
But he's a veteran who can go another 10 years.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's
and
just
then
like,
they have Matt Hardy, who's like, you're like,
you should probably retire, dude.
And then they have Sting, who is like, dude, you haven't retired?
Yeah.
I thought you did. Then
we'll get to Sting in a few minutes.
And then they got like Jake Roberts, who we're like, I'm actually scared of you, but I'm glad that you're retired.
You're not taking bumps or anything.
No.
You're
just still a scary dude.
You're more than willing to go to bat with Arn Anderson, like you're gonna hit each other with stuff, but you're not actually gonna do it because you're smart.
Yeah.
But and all his comments, Jason's comments with Eddie Kingston last night, that was hilarious.
Eddie Kingston's another veteran on there, and then they have all of this young talent that they're just like, here is knowledge, bros. And people complain that they're too much like WCW. And it's like, yeah, except for the fact that, yes, there's a reason why their veterans are at the top of the card. That's where you put the veterans.
Yep. And you're still building talent.
Sometimes you have a veteran who comes in and you're just like, you're going to be mid-card.
Well, it's the thing,
Cody.
Like and Miro.
Yeah.
Because they're at the rebuild. They're rebuilding Miro.
And that's another one. Both of those guys are on the lower end of the veteran scale.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, you guys, clearly aren't, rookies in any way, but you're at like the beginning stage of veteran where it's like, all right, so this is
You've been around more than 10 years.
Yeah.
You've been wrestling for more than 10 years.
This is how the locker room works.
So, but yeah, the thing is, I mean, I think what he's pointing out was he basically, because it looked like it was like a podcast they were talking about.
Oh yeah, it's his Busted Open podcast.
Yeah, they were talking about this where it was, which is weird because the way that they captioned it on Wrestling Inc. made it sound like Bully Ray said something at some point and Booker was responding to that, but it's actually a podcast.
They were talking to each other.
Yeah, wow, way to headline.
It was weird.
Out there, Wrestling Inc. Anyway. The point was, like, he's just talking about it. They agree about it. Is like, because what they're looking Booker T points out is the reason why it is because AEW has so many young talent who don't have the experience level that NXT does.
Right.
So they're learning in the ring. Yes, they have wrestling schools like QT Marshall and Dustin's.
Yep.
They're training on a regular basis. They train at the Daly's place. We've seen stuff where like Tay Conti has posted where she was stretching herself, doing some more high flying stuff.
Yeah.
So they do have like schooling and stuff, but they're not doing what NXT does, where they have a performance center where you train 5 days a week, TV, and when the pandemic ends, you'll be doing house shows through the weekend, Thursday through Sunday. No, you're not doing that. They're learning by being in the ring.
Yeah.
Like the old school days. You can learn how like from the performance center, but that can only teach you so much than actually going into the ring and putting it on.
Most of it is, remember guys, this is a four-sided stage. This is performance art.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I feel that the WWE have taken out of their product, is that it's not a performance art anymore.
It's a television show.
It's a television show.
NXT is not that way. NXT knows to sell to the crowd. Because Triple H knows to sell to the crowd. That's what made NXT so popular, because Triple H, you had the NXT universe, god damn it. They just copy that bullshit from WWE. But anyway, but the Full Sail crowd was the heart and soul of NXT. And if you didn't sell to them, NXT wouldn't have gotten over like it did.
Oh, no. And remember, the Orlando audience, the Florida...
Yep.
Well, it's so weird, too, because it really is kind of the Orlando area audience.
Yep.
Can turn on wrestling in a heartbeat, and if you lose that crowd, you're almost done for the show.
Yeah, the thing is, it's more Central Florida because Tampa is also part of it. It's Central Florida.
Central Florida. Because Jacksonville, I don't know why, but Daily Place, they have never, that crowd has never gotten, like, angry.
Well, it's not a typical wrestling place. Yes, you can hold wrestling there. I'm making a prediction that Daly's Place will be like the ECW arena.
Yeah.
For AEW, and wrestling as a wrestling hub.
Yes.
In 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
Because of AEW.
It'll be a place to hit.
It's gonna be a hotbed for pro wrestling at some point. But yeah, so it's just one of those things where you had that polish element, and let's be honest, the production value of NXT, yes, is a copy and paste of the main roster nowadays.
Oh, yes.
Because they have to try to outperform AEW.
Right.
AEW has a good presentation. I do like WWE's products design in a sense. I wish a little bit more like that, but not as much.
No.
Because it just gotten way, as Eric Bischoff says, way too sterile. It's like so, presentation is so dead on. You can't have any like this whole anything can happen in WWE. No,
it stops feeling that way.
It will never say that
because it was so clean.
It's just too clean and too sterile that for anything to be grungy or anything like that.
Like you could always tell when, especially with a tag team match.
Yep.
When the second partner came in to break up the pinfall, the next pinfall after that for the same team will most likely be the final. Well, also then you see, and for me, like one of the things that always did tick me off about the WWE product is their hot tags.
Yeah.
Their hot tags are so obvious. I mean, at the same time, there is a subtlety to the audience full anticipation hot tag that you're like, just get over there. WWE, it'd just be like, I can't reach. I can't. All right, I'm going to hop over and hit you now because I heard that one.
But that was the main roster, though.
Yeah, I'm
really
just like,
the main roster.
No.
Not to say they can't do a good hot tag on a pay-per-view once in a while.
Right.
But most of the time,
it's a formula.
Unless you have a hot crowd like Chicago.
Yes.
Then most of the time the hot tags just don't work because the crowd has to be into it.
For me, the big ones that I hate are everyone's tired and big move is hit and everyone's just laying there in the ring and you're waiting for that hot tag. You're waiting for that. Like that one I hate. Yeah. Because I'm just like, no, I know that you're not actually, I don't believe that you are that winded 4.5 minutes into your match.
Yeah.
Because if so,
because you
work on your cardio.
Yeah, your cardio sucks.
Because you guys haven't done anything yet.
When you've been bouncing off the walls for 4 minutes straight, and then you're laying on the floor and you're playing your gas, I'll believe that.
Yeah, but this hasn't been bouncing around for 4 minutes straight. You've done two.
But one of the things that
rest holds. Come on.
T pointed out also was the fact that AEW is doing what everyone else is doing, but they're going out of their way to try to make sure it's done a little bit different, which is how you make your product stand out.
It's leaning into the indie-ness,
but on a grander stage.
Right.
You're taking some of the stuff, yes, that WWE does very well for the main product, more average casual fan, using that, but you're still taking what works in the indies and elevating and merging them. Has it been complete? No, they're still working on it. But, I mean, he points out what TNA did well. He said, TNA did well was they had that 6-sided ring.
It made them different.
You had the younger talent like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe.
Yes.
And he even said, if they actually would have led into that, kept the 6-sided ring, not gone with Hogan, let AJ Styles and Samoa Joe go wild. When they were doing 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 million, they would be huge these days because they're doing better ratings than AEW is doing right now.
Yeah, the weird part, you know how we claim that we were just talking about the reason why WWE doesn't have veteran status in the locker room? It's because most all of them fucked off to TNA
Yep.
during a time when WWE kind of needed them because it was time to move on to the, bring up the younger talent. Instead, It was like, all right, so Cena, Batista, Orton, we're putting a lot of faith on the three of you. You're like, wait, what? You're carrying the company. We're 3 years into the biz.
Yeah.
What? It was, yeah.
They did a good job for what they had. But,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, but yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just like they both agree on it because of things, but NXT is overlooked because they had that system. They can practice. They do go rehearse their matches. They also have shorter matches, have a lot more matches.
Yes.
Where AEW will have 4, maybe 5, and go 15, the main event, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
For that final show matchup, and have segments in between building up storylines when they're not. It's a very good flow. But yeah, it's not as big as a deal as the headline. It's a little bit of clickbaity.
Yeah, it is.
When you actually read the article. Work on that, Wrestling Inc.
Yeah, seriously.
And by the way, get rid of your fucking ads. It literally slows down.
So
browsers.
I use Chrome. You sent me 4 links.
Yep.
All Wrestling Inc. I opened up all 4 of them in new tabs. I had to shut all but one down because it nearly froze. It nearly crashed Chrome.
Yeah.
I was like, look, I know that Chrome can use up a lot of my CPU right away. No, my RAM. But damn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, shut you down.
Maybe if you would have shut some of those incognito tabs, would have helped. Oh.
How do you think you get paid?
I don't.
Exactly.
You don't pay me my cut of AEW's
I
money.
don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, let's move on to the next topic.
Or we could, kind of close. You know what? Dark Side of the Ring. It's new season's coming. We're not exactly sure when because, hey, 2020 happened.
Yeah. 20 years went by in 1 year.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh God.
Try to make sense of that. You want a brain teaser? Make sense of that.
Yeah. Sometimes though there are moments that I look back on. I'm like, that feels like it was just a couple weeks ago, and they're like, that was August of last year, and I'm like, huh. But what about this? And they're like, that was 6 years ago. That was October.
I got you beat.
Okay.
We're coming up on my 1 year of graduating from Full Sail.
Dear God, it's been forever.
It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
I swear.
How's the Are you going back for the reunion?
No.
It's 20 years, man.
No, it's Florida and there's a pandemic going on.
I mean, you could have just stopped at it's Florida.
I know, but I'm afraid if I went back, I wouldn't come back because winter's going on here in New Hampshire, and I fucking hate it.
I understand.
But it's also fucking Florida, so it's a good chance I would come back.
Yeah. So
I hate both places.
The next season of Dark Side of the Ring is coming up.
Yes, it is.
Let me bring up what we've got here. Shit. There it is. All right, we've got some awesome stuff coming up on this.
So we have the season premiere of Brian Pillman.
Yes.
Which will have Steve Austin being
thank
there.
you. I mean, he was his tag team partner.
I'm not surprised.
Friend.
I didn't think of Brian Pillman when they announced like a week ago that Austin was going to be a part of the new season.
You didn't?
No.
Okay.
I didn't really read the full article. I just saw that Austin was going to be part
of
one.
You thought it was going to be about Owen Hart.
No, because they already did Owen Hart. I just figured he was just going to be...
They didn't.
Oh, they haven't?
The story's not over yet.
Because he's still alive?
Because he's coming back from the Great White North.
Oh, shut up. This is why we don't have fans.
The healing powers.
That's why we don't have fans.
Of northern Canada.
But I just kind of figured he was going to be... some of the topics they were going to be covering, he would have knowledge of. That I didn't even think of it being just for Brian Pillman. But then you also have the Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling. Don't know what that is.
No idea. None whatsoever.
Then you have XPW.
It's clear. Well, it's clearly a company.
Yes, but I've never heard of them.
It sounds like it's probably a northern Canadian thing, Frontier,
Probably.
or West Virginia.
Yes, I can see that
Those,
too.
those like no place else in the United States, just West Virginia.
Yep. Then we have XPW, Extreme Pro Wrestling. I've heard of them. I've never heard of anything issue with them, but it being an extreme wrestling company like ACW had their problems. Wasn't going to be surprised. Nick Gage, don't know who that is.
Neither do I, and I'm looking at his Wikipedia right now.
Then you have
He's about the same age as me.
yeah, and then you have the WCW New Japan Collision in Korea event in '95. I do remember there being an event.
Oh, okay. No, he's the first CZW World Champion.
Okay.
Yeah.
That means
2011, Gage was sentenced to 5 years in prison after pleading guilty to second-degree bank robbery.
oh, okay.
And he's back on the circuit again.
Oh, goody. But yeah, we have the WCW New Japan Pro Wrestling. I didn't actually realize there was an issue with that event. And then you have the Smith family, Grizzly Smith and his children, Sam, Houston, Rockin' Robin, WWE Hall of Famer Jake Roberts. And then you have also...
I mean, I'm looking forward to that one, too.
I don't know that Ion... How do you say that?
Bruiser Bedlam.
Yeah, Bruiser Bedlam and Johnny
K9.
K9. And then you have the Chris Kanyon.
Yes.
Which I didn't realize was an issue with Chris Kanyon. I know he died early on, but I didn't realize it was a...
First openly gay pro wrestler. I mean, I'm not going to say first, but he was definitely an openly gay pro wrestler.
Okay. So it looks like there's going to be an interesting season. I've never watched any of the
yeah, and the one in Korea was actually in North Korea.
Well, that explains partially why it was an issue. But yeah, so the Vice's Dark Side of the Ring looks like it's going to be a good packed season. As much as I'm surprised there's so much to cover in this show, I'm not. It's pro wrestling. Just because I haven't heard about it doesn't mean there's not a lot of dark stuff that's happening in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
There has been. I'm just not very familiar with overall.
No, I mean,
especially the territory days.
It does seem that the series Dark Side of the Ring is moving more into, hey, these are the lesser known stories.
Yeah. Because there's only so many big
like, hey, remember this a big event?
Yeah.
But we're going to tell you the other stories that are in this.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I like that.
So, but yeah, no start date, but it will probably be coming soon. But that's all we have for you.
Yeah.
It's our news. So go down and comment, talk about the news.
Yes.
Tell us what you're looking forward to. And tell us what episode of the new Dark Side of the Ring you look most forward to. I have two. I have to say, Brian Pillman.
Yep.
And the WCW New Japan.
I'm Smith family for me, and I don't know, probably the two promotion ones, because
Yeah.
I'm a big, like, I like the backstage talk stuff.
So do I. I'm just interested because Brian Pillman, that was one of the bigger public events with his death, and then also the WCW New Japan. Didn't know there was an issue. I knew they had an event in Korea.
Most of the crowd was ordered to go there, man.
I'm sure.
It was North Korea.
They had 100,000 people.
Oh, no, 195,000.
That's right. Because they were ordered to be there.
Yep. The first show had 160,000. The second show, 195,000.
Damn.
But the real number might be closer to 150 to 165. The other numbers are just what was reported.
Of course, because in wrestling, you inflate your numbers.
Of course.
Well, that's what WWE does.
But WWE would have had 1 million people there.
Oh, I'm sure they would have. But like I said, comment down below. You made it to the end of this video, so go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Why not? You made it into the news. You made it to the end. You're clearly liking it. Give us a thumbs up. And since it's right next door to it, why don't you go and hit that subscribe button?
Ding!
Ring that bell.
Ding! Ding!
And make sure you turn on all notifications so you know when all of the Zop gaming content go live. And by the way,
Yes.
tune in to our newest podcast, the conversation. Don't know if that's gonna be the actual name of it.
As the buckle turns, a conversation.
No, we're not doing that. And by the way,
I like that.
your face get bent.